What's going on,
Hey, what's up,
everybody?
everybody? What's
Happy
going on?
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Good
It's
afternoon.
your host, Tonja.
Hey, I'm Jermaine.
We are back for another great episode.
Yes,
How you feeling, baby?
I'm good.
Good.
Season finale.
Ooh,
Season finale.
It is.
Season finale.
Y'all, this the last episode.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm going to cry. No, it's fine.
shout out to consistency. Y'all, because y'all know the algorithm be tripping. Y'all know the algorithm be tripping. But shout out to
What the algorithm got to do with anything?
Hey, the algorithm be tripping.
Anyway, y'all, welcome to another great episode of
Yes.
the Act Right Out Loud
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
We are so happy to see you.
Yes, happy to see you guys on this great Saturday.
Yep.
Hopefully you are out enjoying some of this weather today.
Yep.
Certainly some of the sunshine. Hopefully sunshine wherever
you are.
But man, I'm ready to dive into today's conversation.
Were you about to say today's message?
No, actually I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I can see how that would be easy for me to.
It would be very easy for you to do, but not for real though. We have a great episode.
Yes.
And today we are talking about
functioning and dysfunction. Functioning and dysfunction.
The world we live in.
The world. You know what? I'm trying to figure out how much time we got because man,
it's
the dysfunction of it all. You hear me? Just. I've been waiting on. You see how my hands?
I see you got your hands ready. What you waiting on?
I've been waiting on this conversation because I'm tired of seeing so many dysfunctional relationships,
and they're functioning as if they're okay.
Functioning if everything is fine, everything is okay, and when we talk about functioning and dysfunction, I'm talking about just, of course, relationships and marriage, but just your relationships as a whole.
People, period.
Yeah, just in terms of how you treat people.
Yeah, it's hard these days to have healthy relationships.
It is hard. I mean, you get two dysfunctional people, and they find themselves with this dysfunctional love.
Y'all, and they make it look so good. They make you want to hashtag goals, but it is not.
Right.
They are not goals because they are functioning in dysfunction.
I think one of the reasons why I really wanted to was really excited about this conversation is because I think a lot of people will relate to it, and we live in an age and a time where everything is pretty much social media driven.
Yeah,
there is not a week that goes by, sometimes days, where someone will put ignorant stuff out on social media. If it's somebody trying to charge the people to come to the wedding.
Wait, what?
His buddy said he's gonna charge him $400 to come to his wedding. He said he sent.
That's not real.
I'm serious. He sent out invitations and no one RSVP.
I bet.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not paying you $400 to come to your wedding. I'm sorry.
Is Mint Condition gonna be there?
Is this a concert?
Right.
You got multiple celebrities there.
Yeah. How many
are you a celebrity? Am I paying to come to a celebrity wedding? What are we doing?
I mean, that's stuff
I
like
that. I wouldn't pay to go to anyone's wedding. I don't care whose wedding it is.
It makes no sense.
So I got to pay $400 to surround you with love on your wedding day. It's supposed to be more of a sacred day and not so much of a how much money can I make day.
Right. I want that. I want that Will and Jada love. I want that Beyonce and Jay-Z love. I
don't want nobody love but the love we got.
Thank you. I want that J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
Ain't they about to get a divorce?
Yeah. I'm just speaking in terms of how people are so quick to gravitate towards different,
because of what it looks like instead of what it is.
Yes, and then people will. This is dysfunctional as well. People will literally take what they're going through in their marriage, in their relationship, put it on the social media, get all of these opinions. Sometimes they do it for clickbait. Sometimes they just they want to go viral at the expense of their relationship or marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the nerve to come back and start applying all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking you're taking advice from people about your marriage who have never been married before, who have never been, but I'd have been in a relationship, but have you been married before? You cannot compare marital advice with relationship advice in terms of with somebody that's a boyfriend or girlfriend,
especially if it goes beyond the basic advice of communication,
right?
And talking to each other. If you want to give me advice about something I need to do, you need to be telling me to go talk to my spouse.
Right. That's the best. That's the best.
That's the best advice you can give.
Have you talked to your husband?
Have you talked to your spouse about that? That's the only advice you can give me.
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Now, if you want to share some of your experiences with me and how you handle things,
right,
just so I can get an idea of what you've done, then that's fine.
Oh, right.
By all means, do so. But in order to tell me what I need to do, you need to tell me I need to go talk to my spouse.
Right.
Period.
Right. So when you hear functioning in dysfunction, or when you see it, like what comes to your mind?
You asking me when I see it?
This is season finale, man. What?
When I see dysfunction,
they want the truth.
We've been telling the truth all season,
right?
Have we not?
We have been.
Oh,
we have been.
I thought so.
We have been.
I try not to judge people.
Okay.
And that's something that I'm working on, because I develop my own opinions based on what I see from the outside looking in. And I do that a lot with social media, which is why I try to, not spend so much time with it, because it can make you feel like you the judge and jury when you're not in someone's relationship, because I can only tell you what I'm seeing from the outside looking in, but I can't tell you what you need to do unless you ask me for that particular advice.
Right.
And so I'm basically just developing my opinion at this point. So when I see dysfunction, I'm really just, I'm confused, because it's so much help out there. You know what I'm saying? To where you don't have to live a dysfunctional life. There's so many options. So many resources, so many means. I'm starting to believe that people like living like that.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say too. Sometimes a person can really live in what we see and perceive as dysfunction for so long that it's function. This is how life is supposed to go.
It's a natural way of
this
living.
Is the natural way
and it becomes a habitual cycle that you that you teach your children.
Right.
And they teach their children.
Right.
And that's where this whole generational thing comes into play, because it keeps going from one household to the next. And people talk so much about breaking generational curses, but you can't break the curse if you still live in the lifestyle.
Ooh, that's good.
So it's just so much that comes into being comfortable with a dysfunctional lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true. That is very good. Because people are quick to say, we're gonna break this generational curse.
Yeah,
it's good. It sounds good.
It sounds
good. The best
way
to break it is change behavior and really getting the necessary.
Even understanding what the cycle is.
Right.
Do you even know what the cycle is?
Right. But then just imagine how many people come into relationships and then go, unfortunately, go into marriages as well, functioning one way, only to get into this new marriage, and then realize you're doing something that your partner, your spouse, does not like, and you're sitting back trying to figure out
why they don't like
it. Yeah, and then when they break it down to you, this is why I don't like it, because this is dysfunctional.
Yeah,
you and then it's like you have a choice on whether or not if you want to fix that behavior, change it, or continue to do it?
Check this out. I was looking, like I said, I look on social media and,
okay.
I develop my own opinion. So I ran across a post where this guy has said, if someone gets with him, and it had social media, it had Facebook in a frenzy because people were just confused, or they were supporting it, or they were against it, whatever. He said, if you get into a relationship with me and my BM, I hate that baby mama crap, but he said my BM, needs to get a bill paid. I'm gonna pay it.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay, let's talk about the dysfunction of it.
So you gonna pull me into your dysfunction and tell me I gotta deal with it because you have made the decision that that's how you want to live out our relationship, and you have not given me an option whether I want to tolerate it or not. If I want to be with you, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, dysfunction.
Yeah. You remember on Friday when she called Craig and that nigga was laying in the bed with her? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Please disregard that.
That's the Tonja I'm talking about. I told you it's gonna be good that we're gonna close this year. Yeah, all right. This season, all right. No, right. But what's crazy is we sat there and watched that Friday for years
and did not know that man was in the bed with her the entire time.
The entire time. Dysfunction.
And she on the phone with him going off on him about being in the club with somebody else when all along. So it's just about decisions that we make based off the life that we're used to living. And then when we find somebody else that says, why are you doing that? And they're questioning how you're living your life.
Right.
A bell should go off that maybe that's not functional.
Right.
Maybe that should not be functional.
Right. And it should not be functional. But then just going back to the situation with the guy with the quote unquote baby mama.
Yeah, I almost feel like people do things like that for clickbait.
Yeah,
do you really believe that you're gonna get with a woman and she gonna be okay with you just taking care of your baby mama, like the mother of your child?
Right. Because people, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because it's a whole lot, but it's definitely it's dysfunctional. But then sometimes that dysfunction is pacified by, in that situation, it could easily be pacified by a woman or by a man who just allows them to continue to do that.
Yeah, because they think that it's good.
Right.
Because they've been in situations like that, and that's how it happened.
Right. Because I don't think anybody want to be bragging like, yo, I got a good man. He not only does he take care of his house, but he takes care of his child and the mother of his child. That don't even sound right coming out of my mouth. Now, yes, a man should take care of his children, whether by way of whether it's child support, being present in their lives, whatever the case, whatever it is. But when that man finds a wife, or whoever he is in relationship with, he needs to make sure that he understands that his home comes first. His home comes first. Well, what about the baby? The child is considered his home.
Yeah.
So
that is a part of him. So that is his home.
Right.
And what a lot of women settle for, they settle for a man that makes decisions like that because they're getting taken care of. But they're not looking at the entire root of that situation. Right. You're not looking at the fact that this man literally is telling me that he gonna pay bills at another house.
Right.
And if the mother of your child is struggling and having a hard time, then maybe that child should live with the father.
Right.
Maybe some arrangements need to be made in that aspect.
Yes,
but responsibility for another adult.
Yes, but see, that's grown.
That's gonna take. But she gonna be like, you can't tell me who can come in and out my house. I just paid your light bill.
Yeah,
I can't do that. That's messy.
Right.
And I don't do messy. That's messy. Yeah. But dysfunctional is mess.
Right. And
it's mess with cream on top.
Yes,
because that's what the cream is, what y'all trying to make functional,
and it can't happen.
It can't happen like that.
But not only just from that particular place in terms of just social media. Another great interview Kirk Franklin raises a point on the Willie Moore podcast. Shout out to him if he ever listens to this. How the church has weaponized marriage.
We talked about that, remember?
And then push individuals, pushing them into marriage.
Did you listen to that whole episode?
A jewel, a nugget. Because I began to think, you know, I accepted my call to preach when I was 16.
Yeah.
One of the first things that that somebody told my mentor at the time was that he gonna have to take that earring out of his ear. I was 16.
At 16?
Yeah, I had an earring in my ear.
How many hoes you have too, then?
No, I only had one. He gonna take the earring out of his
and if you didn't, you couldn't accept your calling?
My mentor at the time was like, no, he's the, you know, this, then, a third.
Yeah.
And so when me and him will be talking, you know, he was real upfront with me. He's like, these people are going to try to rush you in life. They, you know, if you get a church at this age, the next thing they're gonna want you to do is get you a wife. If you don't get your church, the first thing they want you to do, because you're a preacher, is get you a wife. Literally trying to push you into that. That's dysfunction. You want to know the reason why divorce was at an all-time high in church and with churches and pastors? Is because they were pushed into something almost like these arranged, like it was overseas somewhere, like in Africa with arranged marriage. You were pushed into something just for the look of it,
just to put on a facade, and you know,
and that's dysfunctional.
Who does that serve?
No one. It
exactly.
Don't even. It does not. In this sense, it does not serve the church. It does not serve you as the man. You as the husband. You as the wife. It serves no. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time,
and it creates households filled with dysfunction. Households with, you know,
dishonesty. Household filled with just animosity.
Yeah.
Just you know,
and unhappiness, because you've put yourself in a predicament to do something based off, you know, something somebody else wants you to do,
right?
And not necessarily what you want to do,
right?
And so where's the logic? I mean, where's the logic in that? I'm not gonna live my life for you.
No, you can't
live my life for God.
Right.
And God did not tell me to marry this person. And if God didn't tell me to marry this person, who you think you are? You think you bigger than him?
Right.
Where you can tell me to do something that he didn't tell me to do?
Come on. So, because I know we can go down the rabbit hole. We can.
So we need to bring it back.
Right. Function and dysfunction. You know, dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional marriages, whatever you want to call them. The dysfunction comes in where there are frequent issues within the marriage or the relationship. Some of those issues came in by way of one of the individuals. Some of the issues may have just was created within the union at that particular time. But the root of some of this dysfunction that we see is communication.
Yeah.
In terms of if I am just making reckless decisions, but I was so used to making decisions, on edge decisions, and making reckless decisions. Good man, loving man, but you saw this. You like, I love him to death, but he just makes terrible decisions.
Oh my God! You know what I just thought about?
What's that?
I just thought about the Tyler Perry movie, the newest one that just came out last month.
Yeah.
What was the name of it? The Black Divorce.
Divorce in Black.
Divorce in Black. Yeah. The Black Divorce. What that mean? Like a black job.
Right.
What does that mean? What is
that? Right.
Divorce in the Black. And how she kept trying to make their marriage functional. But it was like
there were so many layers.
There were so many layers of this, from the family, to him.
That's what the majority of it was at.
Yeah,
and it was almost like she was trying to save him from that.
Yeah,
but he was so so drenched in that way of life from how he was, him and his brothers, and just just a number.
So it's that home of origin thing, and that's literally where we learn how to function in dysfunction as children. We don't even realize we're in a dysfunctional life, or a dysfunctional home. I see a lot of kids on TV where they, are homeless and they just happy to be with their parents. Don't even realize that is not how you should function in life.
Right.
Yes, you have hard times. That's life, that's the world, but it's not a way that a child should have to live. It's not a way anybody should have to live. The homeless community is getting worse and worse by the year. And the fact that people are not talking about it enough, it just makes them seem like, well, this is how life is going to be. This is what I'm going to have to do in order to keep living in this world.
And the sad part about that is that you don't have to. You don't have to live that way. You don't have to.
We need better resources. And we need better ways. We need better ways to get resources to people that really need them. Instead of being on social media flashing, talking about I'm living this great life, and then you going home to an apartment where you ain't got nowhere to sleep but the floor.
Not a bed in sight.
Not a bed in sight. Stop putting on a facade for the cameras.
Yes.
When your life is toe up from the floor up.
I think one of the best things that you can do in terms of really just trying to, a couple of things, and trying to come out of that dysfunctional place. And this is whether you as a person or your marriage or individual, whatever it is. I think the first thing that a lot of people fail to do is really just kind of focus on the positive. And I would say one of the main positives, as far as in a marriage is concerned, it's a positive thing if one of the spouses knows that, that's a little dysfunctional. That's
where somebody can identify.
Yeah, somebody can identify.
You first got to, you're starting off, you have to identify that this is dysfunctional.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Yeah.
Because some people
can't
identify.
Able to identify.
Yes.
And if you can say to each other, okay, let's kind of talk about that, and let's kind of break that down, because this is not how I'm used to dealing with things, and this is not how I feel like we shouldn't be arguing every day.
Right.
We shouldn't have a disagreement every day.
Right. It's almost like, here we go on this movies. It's almost on like Talladega Nights with Ricky Bobby, him and his dad, and they were at Applebee's. He was like, this feels really, really good.
And he just
and
blew
the mama
up the
was
spot.
like, you know what? I think from here on out we should come here on every Thursday. And he like he stopped eating the steak.
He blew the spot up.
He blew it up
because he was uncomfortable with
a
something that was
family, healthy functioning.
Yeah, family. He was uncomfortable with communication.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That did not involve him going to jail.
And then they flipped
him walking out.
Right. And they flipped it at the end. They were like, how are we gonna celebrate? Let's go get kicked out of Applebee's together.
Yeah, that's dysfunctional.
Right. So you got to look at the positive.
So the positive would be you identifying that this is not functional.
Yes. Second thing, and I think this is probably the last one, is just set and make some boundaries. Set and make some boundaries. Put a boundary in between you and the dysfunctional behavior. So that you can be able to look over there at the dysfunctional behavior and be like, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. Make a decision.
Yeah. When I leaned into that dysfunction, everything over here was not happy. The home was in disarray, constant arguments. I just had to make some changes.
I shouldn't have to sit in the car and count down from 10 before I go in the house, because I already know what awaits me when I get in there. Yeah. That's dysfunctional.
Yeah, brothers, if you pull up to the house and you sit inside the driveway or in the garage for another 20 minutes before you go in,
That's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And
something wrong with that. Something wrong with that.
we watch too many movies.
I know that, right.
Because I'm just thinking about the stuff. I've never done it. I mean, have you?
No.
Yeah.
I always want to come in the house.
Come in my house. I don't even care. We just had a disagreement.
Right, I'm coming in the house. I'm coming in. Now we may not speak, but I'm coming up in there. Coming in the house.
You ain't gonna speak. You all tell. You can't help but speak.
Right.
When your mama said when you walk in the presence of somebody, you speak.
You speak now.
You don't wait for them to speak to you. Right. You speak first. Is that dysfunctional?
No, that's
manners.
Yeah,
right. That's teaching manners. Right. Define dysfunction for you so that you can identify it. Because if you don't know what dysfunction is, then you're gonna think that things that are healthy for your life is dysfunctional because you're not used to it.
Right.
And you haven't gotten in the routine of doing it. So eating at the dinner table with your family is a healthy way to engage with your family and break bread together.
Yes.
You know, somebody that's, not used to doing that could be uncomfortable.
Right. I mean, if you always eating on the run, that's not healthy. Like always eating on that says a lot about you as an individual.
Right.
So that can be looked at as dysfunctional as well.
Yeah. So, and some people say that dysfunction means that you're not being a normal person in society. Mm-hmm. That's how they identify dysfunction. Mm-hmm. Well, what is normal? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have to identify what is normal or what you would like to be normal in your household so that your relationship with each other can be healthy. It's all about being healthy. That's why we're talking about function and dysfunction, because your relationship is not healthy when you're trying to make something normal that shouldn't be normal.
Right. It makes no sense. Stop trying to normalize the dysfunctional behavior.
Yeah.
And for adults, now this is the kicker. For adults, you know what's dysfunctional behavior.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know that having a wife and two girlfriends too. That's not dysfunctional. That shouldn't be functional.
I don't care.
That shouldn't be okay.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a norm.
Yes.
Talking about having kids by 5 different women, that's not functional.
Right.
Stop.
However it is you want to look at it. Yeah.
It's not normal. I mean, you can fight me on it if you want to. I said what I said. Okay. But trying to function in situations that can, tear up families, tear up households. That's not healthy.
You want to know what else is dysfunctional? Looking at somebody's dysfunction and then having the audacity to try to bring that into your house. Like if somebody
has look good for them, let me see what it do for me.
Like if somebody has a dysfunctional mouth, meaning they are just so disrespectful, and you try to bring that home and be that way in your house. That's dysfunctional. That you can't, y'all. You cannot look at this stuff that happens on television, on social media. This is the real world. This is
real life.
This is the real world. I don't care how much money you have. Folks can have these poly relationships where it's more. I got 2 girlfriends. I got 2 boyfriends. All this type of stuff. Functioning and dysfunction.
Functioning and dysfunction is
So, I guess that was our soapbox for today. I
guess we have been on that soapbox for a good. How long we been on this soapbox?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Because we don't want you to function and dysfunction.
It's not really a soapbox. It's a concern for how the direction that the world is going in, and how people are literally okay with living dysfunctional lives.
Right. And people are living dysfunctional lives in dysfunctional relationships, expecting functional results. Expecting function, and then when it does not go right,
get that,
when they don't get it, it's like, but you have to look at how you are living and managing your life just as an individual, and then you as a person that is married, you got to look at how you're managing it.
Yeah.
If you are managing your role as a husband in a dysfunctional way, you will receive and get dysfunctional results. Vice versa, from a wife perspective, you're gonna get the same dysfunctional results.
Right.
So don't function in dysfunction.
Don't function in dysfunction. It's ghetto.
Yeah.
We don't recommend.
We don't.
We don't recommend it.
We're tired
we want y'all to be healthy. So that's the thing about these conversations. Like, it's not to pass judgment on how you live your life. It's to give you an outlook that's more healthy.
Right.
It's more healthier, or that's healthier.
It's not to pass judgment, but it is to say these are some of the things that we sit back and we look at, and we're like, really? Your spouse not your best friend? Really? Okay.
Or you say your spouse your best friend, but y'all don't do nothing but do TikTok videos together, and y'all don't spend no other time together. Like, the only time y'all come together is when y'all doing a TikTok video.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
we're just saying we don't know.
I mean, we don't know. We're just saying.
We're
well, you know what? We're saying what we see.
Right.
But because I mean, I don't know what a lot of these relationships are other than what is displayed,
right? Or
unless they're close friends of ours, and we spend time with them to know. But this whole functioning and dysfunction is not healthy,
right?
And it does not create healthy relationships. So if you are functioning in something that you have realized is dysfunctional, then take the time to really look at it and see how you can make it healthy,
right?
And how you can make it work for your relationship instead of it always working against it.
Right. And also understand that at the same time, there are plenty of products, and
there are resources
out there to help really get you back into to a good functioning and healthy space,
right?
Especially within your marriage, and then in your engagement, and your relationships, So, I think that's good.
That's good.
I think that's good.
Y'all don't function in dysfunction. It's not healthy. And talk about it. Have a conversation about it. That is the start to it becoming healthy.
Right.
When you have a conversation about it and you talk about it and you fix the things that are broken.
Identify it. And then talk about it.
Identify that it is dysfunctional, as he has corrected me. And then go through the process of fixing it.
Absolutely.
And becoming healthier. The better.
It was good.
It's good. It's good.
So, hey, have a great weekend.
Have a great Saturday. This is the last Saturday of August.
Yes, it is.
We have enjoyed our podcast season. This is season 1 in the books, y'all.
In the books.
And we are going to take a break in September and come back ready in October.
So make sure, number one, make sure you have a good holiday weekend. Spend some time with your family.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go to actandzactright.com.
Check us out.
Please
subscribe to our
share.
Act Right Out Loud YouTube. We are also on the streams of Apple Podcasts,
iHeartRadio, Amazon.
Check us out. We have enjoyed this first season.
Spotify.
We have enjoyed this first season. You enjoyed this first season?
I have enjoyed it.
And we will be back in October.
All right.
Hey, but keep an eye out on our YouTube. There will be snippets here and there, videos, things that we're doing while we're taking our little break in September.
Sabbatical.
All
right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.